If you want to spark a debate, just mention Goldback. That's going to get the discussions going. I can't think of any more controversial precious metals item than the Goldback. And in this video, we're going to try to explore why people think it is a fraud. Let's talk about it as we explore. Fraud, scam, there's a number of different words you can use to describe the Goldback for those of the strongest critics. Now, but it boils down to a lack of understanding of what it is about. And of course, you have to understand that Goldback corporation or company or whatever organization it is there to make money as well. So there is that aspect of it. It is a money-making enterprise using money to make money. Does that sound like a scam to you? Well, some people think it is a scam for one reason primarily, and that is because they feel that the premiums are way too high. But you know what? They're right. They are. In fact, when you buy a Goldback from Summit Metals or any other place, you're going to pay a very high premium. In fact, I confronted the CEO of the Goldback company about that very topic itself. Now, if I remember, I'll link to it at the end screen of this video. I confronted him on the high premiums that the Goldbacks have. And we discussed it in that video, but some people really just didn't get it. So I'm going to explain this very carefully. And this is one of those situations where you can't just put in the comment sections, yes, it's a scam, until you hear this out. The reason why they call it a scam is because they don't understand how Goldbacks work. There's one thing that makes Goldbacks not a scam or an overpriced collectible gold foil note, and that is the exchange rate. That's right. There is a Goldback exchange rate. And that exchange rate is honored and utilized by the companies that actually trade and accept Goldbacks and for goods and services. And so that exchange rate accounts for the premiums, which are obviously utilized for the production of these, because yes, to produce these, it is expensive, and the company that creates them needs to make money. The Goldback Corporation, a company, needs to make money as well. But it's about getting the word out about transacting in gold. There's very little gold in one of these. In fact, gold's price has gone up so much that the exchange rate has doubled in the last couple of years. And that really goes along with what the price of gold has done in the last couple of years. So that exchange rate, as long as it's honored by the party that is on both sides of the transaction, the buyer and the seller, then it makes a workable currency. That's right. That can be, and that's what it's really meant for. Now, there are other ways to enjoy Goldbacks, and that is to collect them. Such as I do. You can buy them as a collectible, and you hold on to them because they're pretty to look at. I mean, you look at this. The 5 Goldback from Florida is probably one of the most popular designs for obvious reasons. Let's zoom in here, and you can see why. It's beautiful artwork, by the way, on these pieces. And not just that, but there's others as well, other denominations, as you can see here, from various different states. There's a growing number of states. So if you're a collector of these, well, you know what it means to collect. You're going to pay a high premium, and it's unusual that you'll get your money back on those. However, there are versions of the Goldback that have gone up in value, but those are the exceptions rather than the rule. And so you can collect them, but really they're meant to spend. And that's really the first and foremost thing, the reason why they are produced. I mean, you think about it, a dollar bill. You know how much it costs to print one of these dollar bills? Literally pennies on the dollar. 14, 15 cents, maybe. I don't know what the true number is, but the Bureau of Engraving and Printing is not in the business of losing money. That's for sure. They're going to get the money's worth. Now, the U.S. Mint, that's a different story with the nickel and the cent, but that's a whole different topic. But same thing with the Goldback. There are high premiums tied to these, but remember that exchange rate, which is over at Goldback.com. that is the key to it being used as a transaction. And then the other question is as well, is the exchange rate more or less, or what is it in comparison to the purchase price? Well, there are some places you can buy Goldbacks for right around the exchange rate. Summit Metals, a channel sponsor, sells Goldbacks, and I think they've got some, I haven't checked it lately, but they may have competitive pricing on Goldbacks. It might be a little bit more, but nonetheless, there are places you can go to buy them for transactions, or you can just buy them to collect. And so if you buy them for transactions at close to the exchange rate, you're doing really good. And that way you've got them and you can use them to exchange. Now, the only other caveat to this is having places to transact with the Goldback. And right now, even though it has grown tremendously with the amount of businesses officially that will accept them for transaction, it's still a drop in the bucket of how many businesses that don't accept Goldbacks. And by the way, there's plenty of businesses that are not really listed on the website and other places that do accept Goldbacks for payment. And so, and you've seen other channels showcase transactions with the Goldback. And the magic and the key to it is that exchange rate. It was really brilliantly set up. And so if you're going to criticize the Goldback, you've got to be confronted with and face the fact of what the exchange rate is. And the only way that that can be abused is if a company that refuses to honor that. And a company like that, you just don't do business with. That's plain and simple. And I think that's what makes the Goldback work. That's why it is something that is essential to the sound money revolution. And you even see me mention it when I do my videos on that very topic. Because gold has gotten so expensive, it's impractical in many ways to take a 10th ounce gold piece that's worth, about $400 now or close to it. And you could very easily lose it when you could just slip one of these in your wallet for much smaller transactions that you need to do at any given point in time. So as gold's price goes up, these become much more viable for transactions for small fractional purchases, or fractions of 1/100th, 1/1000th of an ounce of gold in these notes. And so that, I think, is the key. So when people say that the Goldback is a scam, and I'm talking to you and trying to be as objective as possible, they must confront the notion and address the notion of the exchange rate. And until they can do that, their argument is null and void. It refuses to be a scam if nobody is not taking into account, and they are taking into account the exchange rate and honoring that exchange rate in transactions. And so there you go. Let me know what your thoughts are. It's I think, a foolproof argument. It's a great idea. It's becoming more widely accepted out there. It's giving more. I think the benefits of the Goldback far outweigh the deficits of a high premium. Crazy premiums on them, because those premiums go away when you spend them. The premiums really are only noticeable whenever you're buying Goldbacks. But, it's a controversial topic, and I would love to see intellectual debate about it with regards to why you would be against Goldbacks now being utilized as currency at this point in time for precious metals, or if anybody could come up with a cogent argument as to why they are a scam. And by the way, this video is not sponsored by Goldback. I've seen comments about it, and I've addressed it in my interview with the actual CEO of the company, which I'm going to link to, and address it there. But I wanted to do a little bit of a shorter video about it right now to just discuss it in simple terms about what that means for the Goldback. For me, I don't have much experience in using these in transactions. So, but those that have reported enormous success, and because it's just a matter of that exchange rate. And that exchange rate is the key to the success and of transactions with the Goldback. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. Hope you found this video informative, insightful, and educational. Would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.